everyone's ears who are bleeding due to my singing.
Right? I'm just like, wow, you hit that note, though. You hit that high note.
Did I hit it like Mariah Carey? Or what? Whitney Houston. There we go. That's the one.
I was like, well, she used to be able to hit it, but...
Oh, gosh.
All right, so we are live.
From our house, it's Who Picked This Buddy Read. Almost said that wrong.
Your mind just automatically changed it for you, which is super helpful. Thanks, mind.
I got like halfway through and I was like, don't F this up.
Don't mess up. Don't mess up.
Well, and then like at that point, you're already thinking of it. So you're like, shoot. We're going for it. We're going for it.
You're already committed. You're already committed at this point. As you're saying it, you're like.
Oh.
All right. So, yeah, it says we have 2 people watching. Hello, 2 people watching. How are you? We are discussing Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor.
There you go.
And it is book number 2 in the Shadow Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I'm doing all this wrong.
Yeah, you haven't even introduced us. Hi, I'm Jen.
Oh my God, that's right. Like you don't know who I am. Hi, everybody. It's Nicole. It's Laura.
Laura.
Laura's here. Hi, Laura.
Why am I not seeing comments?
It takes a second to get to StreamYard.
What a beautiful book.
It is so gorgeous.
I feel like it's a beautiful book that's about 200 pages too long.
Dang, she just threw that out there like right at the beginning.
We're gonna have to just go all for it at this point. I feel like everything
at the knees
happened towards the end, which obviously most books have things happening at the end, but I was just like, it took a long time to get everywhere, and I get that we're building like new relationships and whatnot, but at the same time I was like, are we there yet? That impatient Laura, how unfair. Had you picked up my phone call, we could have talked about this.
You could have been prepared.
Oh,
shut your mouth.
I'll also tell you why, and I have a bone to pick with you, Laura, because last night you didn't say anything, and I was like, does it have a rapey situation? I'm going to tell you this now. In any book that I'm going to read, if there's anything, regardless of like what it's about, please warn me. I don't need to know who it's between. I don't need to know specifics, but maybe like go on a scale of 1 to 10, it's about a 7 on the graphic scale. So just like prepare yourself for that. I will allow that spoiler. I know that I don't love spoilers, but that's one where I will any day of the week gladly take. So I think that's also coloring my opinion of this book, because I literally wanted to rip my earbuds out when that happened and throw my phone across the room. So yeah, that happened.
Yeah, I felt like this book was a whole lot darker than the first book was. I feel like not a lot of things were happy, except for Susanna and Mick, which I love them so much.
I love them, yes.
And I immediately text Jen too after I read the, rapey scene where, I was like, just to prepare yourself. It's an attempted rape, but it's very graphic how he tries. So, definitely trigger warning, for attempted rape in this book.
I know you don't want to give anything away. I know that I've said repeatedly, like, no spoilers, but that's the one time where I will take the spoiler and I'll probably be like, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I won't cause a stink like I do all the other times.
Oh, yeah. She gets really upset if you spoil books, for sure.
I don't even read the synopsis half the time, because I'm just like, there's always so much detail in those. Mm-hmm. And unless if it's like the first book and I'm trying to figure out if I want to read it, it's probably not a good idea to, because it gives away so much.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, some do, definitely. I know for the last, I know for sure the last few books that I've buddy read, and then also these books that we're buddy reading, together. For this, good to know for future.
So one time I'll allow it.
I haven't been reading the synopsis, so I didn't even read the synopsis for Daughter of Smoke and Bone. So it's
I hadn't either. It was on my TBR for decades. It feels like.
I know. It's just one of those things where like you hear so much about it, and you're like, oh yeah, I have to read this, because everyone loves it. So,
or you see the covers and they're gorgeous, and you're like, okay, it can't be. If the covers are so beautiful, like the story can't suck that bad, can it?
Well.
In theory.
In theory, King of Scars, I'm looking at you. So.
Hey, that one wasn't terrible. You just don't like it because of Zoya.
That's 100% accurate. 100%. But yeah, I felt like, I don't know, like for the first book, I felt like, you're immersed into a new world. It's so awesome. Like, it's so original. It's so descriptive. Laini Taylor really knows how to world build and give those descriptors that really make you feel like you're in the story. I was falling in love with the characters, and I just felt like that all kind of went away in this second book because nobody was happy, and I wasn't happy reading it, so it's like I really spent the entire book just waiting for Akiva and Karu to meet up again and forgive each other and do the things, it's like I just honestly, it's like the only two people that were freaking happy in this book was, like I said, Susanna and Mick, and I was like, I love that. I'm like, they were the like literal only bright spot in this book. It was
I kept looking forward to their chapters too, because it's kind of like the first book was the baby roller coaster. So you're just like, wee, it's nice and fun, and then you're like, I'm upgraded to the adult roller coaster, and like you're going up, and then instead of like roller coaster, it's just like, and I'm like, well, that's anticlimactic for me. I need a little bit. It wasn't a bad book. I still gave it 3.5 stars, but I did give it a 3 versus a 4, which I feel like speaks volumes in regards to like where you kind of push yourself to in that 3.5
like
section.
Like the actual star ratings on Goodreads, since they don't allow half ratings, you either got to round it up or round it down. So it's like that round up or round down like creates a big impact, so. But obviously I don't know if you can see this. Oh, there they are. I have a lot of Post-it notes. I mean, a lot of stuff, for how slow it was moving, a lot of stuff did happen, and it was a lot of like, oh crap moments, like what is happening, so I do like the way that she writes the story like that, where it's kind of like when you have different perspectives and stuff like that, it really kind of I'm here. That's my mother-in-law. Hi, Bev.
Hi.
Laura said, I love how Mick was taking these tasks seriously to win Susan's hand. I love when he was typing or spelling on her back, and she was like, N-A-R, and he's like, that's a K. I want you to make me a sandwich. And I was like, no, come on. I was dying laughing. And that's so funny. Yeah, Laura can't believe you rated it a 3. She said 3.5.
Okay. 3.5. It just doesn't allow me to give it half stars. And compared to the first one, the first one was such a high, like 4.5. I just, yeah,
it's like still well written. The rapey scene really portrays how bad it would be to expand. As a just inherently female, I know how bad it is to be.
It got, and I just. Like, fine, have it in a book, but I feel like this is young adult, and this is like 4 or 5 years ago when it probably came out. So I feel like it should not have got as graphic as it did. And
went on for like 4 pages too.
Yeah. Thank God I was listening to it at 3 speed and it was blazing by, but at the same time I was like, every word was like sinking in, and I was like, I need these to go away. Like, I need to read something happy now.
It was
like Sophie's Choice.
It was like, honestly, it's like, you can create like a graphic attempted rape scene, but don't drag it out. I mean, come on. Like,
she was so nervous, and then like her like reaction wanting to like look away, and I was like, oh my god, like if anything happens, I will literally stop reading this book and be like, Nicole, you get to discuss this by yourself next week. Have fun.
Have fun. I'm not reading this anymore. Sorry.
I don't like it, and yeah, for a young adult one, I felt like it got way too real. I recently read
too heavy,
I read a book called Hopeless by Colleen Hoover, which they get dark, and they did not even get that graphic in that book. And it was like a 9-year-old girl in that book. So,
hey, it's Jess. How are you? She has the horror like look emoji.
yeah. So I just it felt out of place for this type of book, and maybe this was supposed to be like more new adult, kind of like ACOTAR, but I didn't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up, but I still thought it was like, I'm still thinking it's a young adult series, but yeah, just this book really like took a turn like to Darkland.
Dark. Rather than a roller coaster, it just
she would be traumatized still and forever. The scene needed to happen because he needed to die. Yeah, that's true.
He didn't die though.
That's not true. He did die, but
I mean, but oh my god. Okay, so I know that we're like jumping all the way to the end, and this is just gonna like platform us into anything. But yeah, when he walked through the door, I was like, "What? This is he died! Like you stabbed him right after the other guy got stabbed in the heart, and then his son got like knifed over the words.
So many people dying. Like, yeah, seriously, it's just like she like stabbed him in the throat, and that was all that, you know. She was just saying how like she was kind of like blacking out, and she was like not like vomiting, and then she finally like got back to her room. She doesn't know how she got there, quote unquote, and then like she opens the door, and here's the the white wolf. I'm like, what are you doing here?
you died.
And like she was saying how like her hands were all blistered because of the shovel, and I'm like, oh yeah, she buried him. Makes sense. She doesn't want to get caught right away. And then I was like, oh, like what are you doing here? What?
Why is he back? Oh. Yeah, and then the guy that replaced him, he's like, I can still taste her blood on my lips, and I was like, oh yeah, that's not good.
Ziri, I mean,
Zuri, yeah,
I mean, it was a great plan though. It was a great plan. So she killed him because obviously he needed to die because he is not a good guy. He's not a good guy at all. But
I hated him so much.
Karou was right saying like the Chimera people follow him and they gravitate towards him and they look to him for strength. I was like, so for her plan to work, he needs to be there. And then Zuri comes, like, thank God, and it was actually his plan. He was just like, okay, like, I'm going to kill myself. He like literally slit his own throat and he's like, glean my soul and then put me into his body. I'm just like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Diago loves killing for killing. Yeah, because there were multiple scenes where Karou was like, hey, this is another option. Like, hey, this is a plan that we could do. Like, hey, you know, here's another way of doing things. And he's like, he would twist it and be like, oh yeah, I'll take it under consideration. And then all of a sudden the power dynamic would shift again. Like Karou really thought that she was getting to these people like, hey, this is the bad guy, you should follow me. But then he would just twist it and be like, oh yeah, I'll take that under consideration, but we're going to do this. And then also kill all the people that were on your side.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't like him. No, I didn't like him in the first one either.
No. But like she said, he's been in power for so long. He knows how to work and manipulate people. He knows how to keep his power too. So, I mean, he's a great villain, honestly. But I'm glad he's dead.
Hopefully, I was so close to having predicted Broom. Oh my gosh, I can't think of names. Her father figure. Brookstone. There you go. Brimstone. I was like, Broomstone doesn't sound right. Brookstone. He could have come back. Now, technically, I get it. She says that he's not coming back. She died before, like he did. So,
yeah, I was really hoping that what's that? I keep calling it a thimble, but it's not a thimble. What is it?
What?
what they keep their souls in after they glean them.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Everyone's Reddit knows. It's the little.
I call it a thimble in my head, but it's not a thimble. But yeah, I was so hoping that it would have been brimstone in there and not
A thurible.
Thurible. Thank you so much, Laura. Thurible. What about Akiva and Sister's devastation that the blue-haired chick couldn't say? The blue-haired chick? Do you mean the main character, Laura? The blue-haired chick.
The one in the book behind you.
You mean Karoo, the main character? Yeah, that was also okay. There was many times where I wanted to put this book in the freezer so bad, like when he died, and then also when there was a slight glimmer of hope that she could have revived him, and then also when she's like, "Oh no, he's been dead. Like his soul is not like there anymore." And I was like, "Oh dang!" So I was like, I wanted to put it in the freezer again. The almost rapey scene, yeah, for sure. There's a number of times where I wish there was a freezer nearby. I couldn't remember her name.
Freezer, a lighter, anything.
A lighter.
I would just cut those pages. I would cut those pages out of the book and have a nice little fire, being like, I don't need to relive this.
I was like,
it's like Styx and Acheron. I don't need to relive that. I could literally take the first 800 pages of both of those books, rip the book, and burn the first half. I will never need to read that first half again. Ever. I'll reread
just the present day stuff. Just the present day stuff. But yeah, so yeah, that part was like devastating too. I really liked him, and the fact that he was working with Akiva to save some of the Chimera, I'm just like, oh yes, like he's coming to Akiva's side. Like there's hope for the sister. They can all be together, and then death. And then death. And I just loved how they did that too. It's like, did you hear that? It sounded like birds, like, and they just let them like go away. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are adorable. I love you so much. Blasphemy, Jen. You have to read it.
Has she? Is she talking about which one?
No, she hasn't read Dark Hunter.
I know, but when you get to those,
are there any birds to save? Yes, when they're trying to talk on the down low when they're in the camp and saying like, yeah, it's like we got to really be like inconspicuous kind of thing. But I was picturing like a happily ever after for him with like a nice Chimera girl, and it just all went up in freaking smoke. I was so sad.
100%.
So sad. But yeah, there was a lot of like points in this book where it was kind of like I said, like what the heck moments going on,
Oh yeah.
But
I don't know if it's just me or you, but you're talking and then your voice is separate. Like,
oh great,
there's a delay.
Of course there is.
Oh, now it's back, but
thank God.
It happened earlier, and I was going to tell you about it, and then you kept talking, and it finally caught up to you. So I was like, all right, great. And then, like, I'm watching you now. I'm like, I don't know if it's the same for everyone else or if it's just me. So I was like, I'm going to say it just in case.
I mean, there's really nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. I would have to, do all.
Well, when you stop for a minute, and then it caught up somehow. So stop talking occasionally, okay?
Stop talking, Nicole. Okay, I ship Akiva's sister in Zuri, even though he's in a weird like she could make him a new body. He doesn't have to be in, like, it's just for now, like as like things progress, but when the war is over he could totally be like put in a different body. But yeah, I would totally love that. I'm 100%. Yeah, 100%. Because she, she deserves to be happy, even though she was kind of like a see you next Tuesday for a little bit. And then she was like, and then she, without even really being prompted by her brothers, like she kind of realized on her own that Karoo was, not the all bad person. And, she didn't want to be killing the Chimera like that either, because they were just slaughtering innocents at that point. And because there was that scene where, her soldiers were making the marks on their knuckles. And she's like, I know you're not marking your knuckles and taking those tallies right now, because that is not how we do it.
Yeah.
Like those were like innocents that, we were ordered to do, but you should not be taking pride in those killings. I'm like, yes, girl.
Yeah. I think that was about the time that I started to like her too.
Yeah, so she deserves to be happy. Honestly, with the way this book went, I wouldn't be surprised if she died in the third book either. Or Ziri, like
Everyone's up for grabs.
This like
Nobody's
sliver,
safe.
this little sliver of hope, and just no, I don't trust it anymore. I like, oh yeah, people can be happy. No, they can't. This book says they can't be happy. No, no. I have to remember, like, this isn't a romance. Not everyone's gonna be happy. No,
not everyone's gonna make it out alive.
No,
someone's gonna fall off the roller coaster when it goes upside down.
I thought she had a discussion with Akiva where he told her her soul wasn't too black. Just make a choice, one choice and then another. Yeah, that's true. But, you know, like there's like certain parts of the book where it's like her point of view, and she was like, you know, she was finaling and she was rationalizing like Karu's decisions. Yeah. And so I'm like, yes. I was like, everybody needs to be on the same page. Everybody. And honestly, I was getting to the point where it's like, I don't know which side to root for, because like, what novel number? Oh, this is book 2 out of 3. So this is the middle book in the series. 3, yeah. First book is Daughter of Smoke and Bone. This book is number 2.
Insanely better, in my opinion. I mean, I'm so grateful that I read this book, and rapey scene aside, it really wasn't bad. I feel like it was very long, and I feel like it could have been shorter. So I hate having that opinion, because it's just like, well, you could have cut stuff out, but maybe it's going to make more sense in the next book. So it's just like, right now, I feel like
she says, no wonder. Yeah.
Sequels are always hard. Was this her first series that she's ever done? Do we know that?
I don't know that. I mean, probably. I'm not sure.
Let me see. You know what we didn't do? Read the synopsis. It's okay. We don't need to.
No, we didn't. No.
Oh my gosh, this book came out in 2012.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think this was her first book. Oh, that's not true. Well, she was an illustrator in something.
But I mean, like typically, like when you're reading a series, like the second book is like, you know, like everyone's favorite book. Like take ACOTAR for, you know,
an opinion. You can't compare ACOTAR and the second book. It doesn't work in that series. There are reasons.
And mainly they are resand.
Yeah, there are resands that one excels.
You can't just compare this to ACOTAR.
Let's go with like Harry Potter. First one, excellent. Second one,
for sure.
Like, let's move on.
I like the second one, but
it was not bad. I guess I think of the movies more sometimes, and so I'm thinking about the second movie, and I was like, is this one over yet?
There isn't anything she could cut out. Even that quick scene where Joram killed all his guard because of the fruit basket. Huge question mark. Are you wondering why he did that? What can those other angels do? Question mark. Do you mean?
I mean, I feel like there are things that she could have let go. My opinion, though. Yeah.
I need receipts, Jen. What can she cut out?
I listened to it at 3 speed, and I felt like it was too long, so that tells you something.
She was flying through this. She's flying.
It's just like, I guess my thing is the beginning. And yes, she had created the world in the first book, and there was a lot of detail in there, and you had to do it, and it was new and wonderful. I figured like the second book would start off, you'd still have like great things to go after, but I wasn't attached to anyone or any theme within the book until like a third of the way through, and I felt like maybe she just needed to do something more interesting in the beginning. I don't know. It's just there was something, for me at least, missing in the beginning that made it less interesting. I mean, yes, by the end it picked up the last half, you know, everything was falling into place, but there wasn't enough interesting that honestly, if you had asked me about the first half of the book, I would probably struggle to tell you a lot about anything except for, what is it, Susanna and Mick and their travel through the freaking desert to find her. Yeah. Like that sticks out to me. And then honestly, the next thing I remember is probably when Akiva's sister, I cannot remember his name. Akiva, there we go. Akiva's sister. It had that thing about the books, the blah blah blah, the hand thing. Like that one stuck out to me, but it's just like until then, it was like,
Yeah.
nothing. And then the sister, the mother figure, yes, that not Susanna. Kuru. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Did I read this book?
Jen didn't even read it. This is all fake. She didn't even read it.
Like, yeah, Kuru, and then her like starting to rebuild people, like that kind of stuck out. But when she rebuilt her person based off the letter that I believe, was it Akiva that gave it to her?
Akiva gave her the thurible that held
her soul, right?
Soul. The only thing that was written on it was her name. Yeah. And he thought it was her soul that was in the thurible, so that's why he was sad the whole time that she was dead.
See, I got that. That's probably the first thing that I picked up on that had my interest. And then literally everything before that, I was like, few things came through before that.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion.
That's what I was gonna say. Sorry, Laura, but you're entitled to your wrong opinion. That's just me, though. I wanted more from the beginning. I honestly wanted Akiva and Kuru to get together, like page 2. Like, come on, let's start with the conversation and then end it with,
yeah.
We all know.
Honestly, that's what this whole book, that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for that conversation between Kuru and Akiva, and I really thought that they would have like had some kind of understanding by the end of this book, and that didn't happen. So that was like a really big disappointing factor for me.
100%.
Because 100%. I don't know, like the first book blew me away. I was like, oh my God. It was like, it's almost like night and day between these two books. Like, I don't know, like, don't get me wrong, like this book is beautifully written. It's rich in details. Like the world building is there and established from book number 1. It was just slow moving.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing is that coming from book 1, like I had super high expectations.
I feel like book 1 was like bam, 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 things happening. You could not like catch your breath or even like blink or you're going to miss something on the page. This book was like basically a huge setup for what I'm thinking is going to be the big showdown in book 3.
Fingers crossed.
So I'm really hoping. I mean, I still have like high expectations for the ending of this series. I really think that, based on, we have a few friends. I don't know, Erin, I don't know if you're watching, and also Kelsey from our, annotated book club. Like they love this series. So I'm just like, okay, like we read a lot of the same books. We love a lot of the same books. So it's like, I was just having like such high expectations. Like I'm really hoping that, book 3 will pick up kind of where book 1 left me,
Yeah. Ugh, that guy, Thiago.
Maybe Thiago's.
Well, there was a point where it did sound like he was turning himself around, and then he was just like, I thought playing the nice guy was going to make you like me, and then I'm going to try and rape you and tell you that that's different. I'm not going to get over that.
No, I'm sorry. There's no amount of nice that you can be after you literally like chop my head off. Like, no, it's not. No. Yeah. Then you find out the truth. You absolutely hate him even more. Such a jerk. Yes. I can't use strong language. This video is marked not for kids, so you are fine to use any kind of language. It'll just be.
Yeah.
I meant in the comments, Jen.
Oh, my bad.
if there's a curse word in the comments, I have to approve it before it goes live. So just so you're
Bleep, yeah.
Bleep, yeah. Makes me really admire the author's style of writing. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like she's fantastic like writing. I'm like totally. She says, whoa, Jen. Strong use of the F word.
We used it once, okay?
It's like an R-rated movie. You can only use the F word once.
Actually, that's PG-13.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, if you use it more than once, then it's definitely R. But you can have one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie, so use it sparingly. Yes. Which was hilarious. Side note, when I was at Comic-Con last year, the guy that plays Neville Longbottom.
Yes, Matthew something.
Yeah.
Matthew something.
It's not the Lewis, is it?
Yeah, Matthew Lewis.
I don't
Or
know.
like,
That's right.
are we even fans of Harry Potter? Like, who knows? There's your one. Deadpool approved. Thanks, Lara.
Well, they were asking like him if you could, because it was PG-13 for the final film, like where do you feel like the best F-bomb would have been? And I
Probably
think
when
he
he
was just
cut the
like,
head off the snake and be like,
that was his answer. Why can't I think of his name? I have to Google this. It will literally drive me nuts.
you said it. It's Matthew Lewis.
I don't feel like that's right.
Okay, look it up. We'll both learn stuff.
Maybe it's because I think his name is Neville.
Maybe his name is just Neville Longbottom, and yeah, that's
Not
it.
Neville Longbottom, but like I see his face and I'm like, oh, Neville. Oh, and that dick from the Suicide one. Matthew Lewis. Okay, she did. So maybe we
Okay,
were right.
Jen, don't even say Matthew Lewis. Like, I haven't been saying Matthew Lewis for the last 10 minutes.
Okay, do you know the guy that plays Lupin, though? His name is like Matthew Lewis or something, isn't it? I'm about ready to find out.
Okay.
Why did I pull up this app? Garbage.
I don't know. Garbage.
But the Me Before You, that's one that he plays that really just stupid boyfriend.
Yeah, for sure. He was more interested in running than with Amelia Clark, which in what world, right? Am I right?
Right.
Jess doesn't know. She can't help. David. Oh, okay. Laura's saying David Thewlis.
See, I don't know anybody's name. Am I even a fan anymore these days, guys? I'm sorry.
Nope. We're all fake fans over here. Fake fans. All right. So post-it notes. Let's go. So
page number 1.
No, it's page number 11.
Dang.
It is when Susanna is emailing Carew, and she was like, just really mad that she up and disappeared, and she was like, she's like, I might try that one thing, that thing people do when their eyes get all wet and stupid. What's it called? Crying? Or not. I might punch you instead and trust that you won't punch me back because my endearing smallness, it would be like punching a child. I'm just like, oh my God, Susanna. Like, honestly, sorry, Carew, but she was like my favorite character in this book because...
Yes! Her and then Nick? Yes.
Yes, they should just be happy forever, please.
Oh gosh.
Page 46. So this is when like we find out like the white wolf is indeed like still alive. Honestly, I don't know if I like totally made this up in my brain or like blanked out, but I seriously thought he was dead. Like from the first book.
I thought he was alive the whole time.
I thought he was dead. I was like, what are you doing here? I would not have brought him back if you did, idiot. And then foreshadowing to the end of the book where she does. Sorry.
Wait, did he actually die in book 1 though?
I think I imagined it. I honestly think I imagined it because
I feel like it ended where he was like, yeah, I killed your whole family, but I don't think that
God, yeah. Honestly.
I don't think that he was the one that died.
Okay, good. Because I think I just made that up in my brain. Maybe it was just wishful thinking, like I wanted him dead.
We all do.
I absolutely love how Zeus and Mick even had the shadows that live. Oh, yes, yes. I feel like they could. There was kind of like the brother, Akiva's brother. I can't say his name. I call him Hazelnut because I can't.
Hazelnut and Ikea. I like it.
I mean, like he just like had this like way about him where he could literally make anyone laugh and smile and be friends and play cards. And I felt like Zeus and Mick had that with them as well. I know how to spell it, Laura. I don't know how to say it.
Hazel?
Sure. Yep. Yeah, we'll call it. I mean, I like hazelnut better, but whatever.
I'm calling a hazelnut something. Maybe I should put hazelnut in my Irish coffee.
Maybe. I'm not drinking coffee, but I am drinking a spiked beverage.
What? You?
I know, right? Like what? You guys, I like my mother-in-law. You guys are eerie? I
think she made cray?
Crazy? Cray? That's true.
We definitely are. 100%.
We definitely are. 100%.
Please don't judge us.
Don't judge me. My next post-it note, 48, is when Thiago was trying to be all nice, and he's like, you need to care for yourself or let others care for you. I'm like, oh, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. I see that you tried to spell check yourself, but it's not any clearer.
Extra?
Extra.
It would make sense.
Extra, crazy.
What letters are by the E? So W, S, D, F, and is that an R? Yeah, I don't know.
So. Oh gosh, that's so
whatever
funny.
it is, it's 100% accurate. More than
I'm taking it as a compliment. Honestly, it's because fine. So okay, so this is page 64, where she was saying that this is when I was at the very entertaining. We are that. Yes. See?
You're right, thinking it was a compliment. Good job.
I knew it. And so this is she's thinking about Thiago and having to work with him, and she was saying like it's like his handsome face, grave with endurance, and while she certainly felt what she expected, a grim pleasure to give back some small measure of the anguish he had once caused her, it wasn't all she felt. And I'm just like, you better don't. Like, you better freaking don't. I don't want King of Scars to be happening in this book where you're trying to make me like an unlikable character and ship them with the main character. It is not happening.
Especially not after IKEA and her hit it off in the book 1.
Not at all. Not at all. A compliment worth the wait.
100%.
And Jess, that they are. You guys are so nice. Oh my gosh, stop it.
I'm blushing. Underneath all my makeup.
Stop. Honestly, my cheeks are just naturally red. Like, no amount of makeup can just cover that up. So.
My whole face is naturally red. I live in a desert with the sun.
My next post-it note was one of those little chapter things where it's just like, once upon a time, an angel and a devil fell in love and dared to imagine a new way of living. And so they dreamed of a world that was like a jewel box without a jewel, a paradise waiting for them to find it and fill it with their happiness. This was not that world. I'm like, way to stab me in the heart. It could eventually be that world. Give us some hope. I mean, dang.
Like, come on.
I mean, jeez.
Throw me a bone here. I already feel like it's a depressing book. Now you just set me up for, like, sadness.
Throw me a freaking bone here. It's crazy. Okay, next post-it note, page 106, Laura, because I know you like me saying page numbers. So they're talking about how...
Is it hardcover or paperback?
Oh, you're out of luck at that point. Sorry. They were talking about how Ten's eyes, because she's like a wolf chimera too, and she had like real true wolf's eyes that were golden brown, but Thiago's was a pale blue color she'd never seen on an animal. He could be called the white Siberian husky.
Why would you compare such an evil man to a beautiful dog?
But I was dying laughing. I have a Kindle, so oh dang, sorry.
That doesn't help on this one. Oh, there's a comment for it.
What? Holmes, what you said about King of Scars in this, it sounds exactly like what Chen said for 3/4 of Akamat. Not wanting.
We've already discussed this before. We don't need to continue to bring that up, guys.
Oh my gosh. I have the receipts for that. Because you were texting me that you are not going to trust Rhysand. You're like, no, I'm not going to do it. He's going to betray her. I'm not going to fall for this liar. I'm taking screenshots of this text message and sending them to Lara. And I'm like, look at this girl. She is in denial.
Because I always, in any series, it always happens. Whatever guy gets there first, unless if the second guy, like, blows me away, which I was not willing to give him, like, an inch. because I was like, no, it's all, he's got like, everyone's always talking about all his little mind games. So I was like, oh, I bet he's like inside her mind. I was justifying it. And then after a certain point, I knew I was wrong, but I was like, I'm going to keep going just on the off chance that I'm actually wrong or I'm right and that she just doesn't want to tell me. Oh.
I know. I sent you those. Yes.
But yeah, I immediately reread the book afterwards.
So funny.
Because
I was like, she couldn't even enjoy the steamy seeds because she was hating Rhysand so much.
Yeah, it's not that I hate him. I was just like, when's Tamlin coming back? And
oh my god, said no one ever. When's Tamlin coming back?
Well, then when he did come back, I was like, what a dick! Like, I need to read this again.
What a dick.
She did.
Sarah
Yeah, more
people. Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Most love triangles, the first two are the ones that are going to end up together. And so I was like, okay, like, I'm going to stay on this team boat, whatever.
Except for in
after that.
In Throne of Glass, it's the third dude she ends up with. Or fourth, I should say.
True.
Yeah.
But at that point, like, they started, I mean, I know this is going to be a whole other conversation, but let's just be real. Yeah. And that one I did start to root for, what's his face, Rowan?
Oh, yeah. Book three is when I, really started to get invested in that series, and that's when Rowan comes into.
Like, Cole did a total dick move, and I was like, okay, you don't deserve her anymore. And then she was only ever friends with Dorian, so I never really saw anything romantically happening there. And I don't feel like it was a competition at that point. Like, I saw them as, like, they broke up. So at that point, she was fair game for anybody.
Oh.
So that, in my defense, I felt like there was a break. They were on a break.
They were on a break, Lara. They were on a break, Lara. All right, well, back to the book we're actually supposed to be discussing.
That'll be another day. We should just have everyone come on and be like, ask us questions about books that we've read.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny. Okay, so my next post-it note, page 110. I'm not even gonna say pages anymore because you're on a Kindle and I'm not. You can't even. No. Words.
What if someone else likes it?
Okay, 110. Gosh, Jen. Okay, so this is when, like, she starts like resurrecting people, and they still think that she's a traitor, and they call her angel lover, like, behind her back. And that one guy just totally, like, Razor, like, attacks her in, like, the great, like, mess hall or whatever. And she's like, do you know what I've lost because of you? And I was like, she also brought you back to life and made you a whole new body. Like, how about some freaking gratitude? Yeah. Like, geez. Irritation.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Well, I mean, understandable that they have such, like, animosity between the two races, between the Chimera and the Angels. But it's just like, come on. Let's let this go a little bit.
Get over it.
She's trying to talk about bettering, like, your race by trying to get along with these. Like, they're talking about killing kids. Unless if they're little Nazi kids who are like, Hail Hitler. No. Like, no child ever deserves to die.
Like, and both sides were doing it. I think I was saying this earlier, where I was getting to the point in this book, like, I wasn't rooting for either side. I was like, both y'all are freaking nuts. Like, all of you are, like, just attacking, like, women and children and innocents on both sides, just so you can, like, oh, well, it's like, we can't attack their army yet because we're not strong enough, but let's get, like, the women and children all killed so they're, like, all morally dejected. Like, no.
Yeah, no. Hard pass on that one.
Fanatics in the worst sense, like, for sure. And then just, like, blind out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And
they don't want to think for themselves. There's even that one point in where she was talking to Thiago, and, like, she was saying, like, people didn't want to choose her side. They would much rather, like, blindly follow Thiago than to actually have, like, a thought for themselves and to think, like, there is most definitely a right and a wrong here. And y'all are just be like, okay, well, I need someone to make decisions for me, and I don't want it to be you because you're an angel lover. So I'm going to go with Thiago. I'm like, no.
Yeah. And it made me so mad, too, because his name is Thiago and makes me think of Theo James. And I was just like, you're ruining the name.
I did
when
not.
When they say at 3 speed, they say Thiago really fast, so I hear Theo first, and I was like, oh.
I did not one time think of Theo James when I...
How dare you not think of Theo James? I need
Not
to watch
one
Divergent
time.
now. Actually, let's watch Princess Diaries first.
And then.
I was going to do it tonight or this afternoon before I took my nap, but I decided to put on National Treasure 2 because it's been so long since I've seen the Princess Diaries, and I kind of want to sit there and actually watch.
I love Carew when she said, what is the end game? What do you see happening? Yeah, for sure. Like, and he didn't have an answer. Like, he didn't have an answer because he's like, he doesn't see this ending at all. He just sees more killing, more violence, and that's what he wants. Yeah. That's what, that's what he thrives on.
Which was so terrible that he wouldn't even answer her question. Yeah.
No, Chris, fine. He wouldn't. That's because, and he kept just bringing back, oh, yeah, your lover's on that side. Is that why you wanted to be, best friends with them or whatever? It's like,
sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. They just keep bringing back, like, what she did and what she died for 17 years ago. I'm just like, okay, calm down. Like, she paid her penance. She literally died. Get over it.
She's growing up. Like, come on, give her a bone.
Give her a break.
People could have 17 years, unless if they're doing the same things. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, it was not cool. And then she felt like so alone. It wasn't until Akiva gave her Issa's soul and she was able to resurrect Issa that she felt like, and then also Susanna and Mick, found her, that she actually felt happy for the first time and since she left Akiva, and it's in Marrakesh, and I felt like she was just there because she had nowhere else to go. Nowhere.
Yeah. How terrified were you when they actually showed up after they had like killed a bunch of humans?
I was just like, when they said like she saw, like, she was standing with Thiago and she saw like 2 humans, like, I was just like, that's freaking Susanna and Mick. Like, I was like, what are you guys doing?
My first thought, yep. I was so like horrified. I was like, if they kill these 2, I can't keep reading.
And her soul is so much stronger than all the rest. She didn't Evanesce spelling, whatever. Her soul grabbed on. No one else did that. Jamie talking about Carew when she died.
Is she gonna be like dead? Because didn't she say like if she dies the next time she's not coming back? Did I miss that? Did I make that up?
Well, I mean, there would be no one to.
Oh, that's right, Brookstone.
There would be no one.
The only one.
Yeah, there'd be no one to resurrect her, and I mean, she's the one that's stringing the teeth and creating the bodies and resurrecting the people. I mean, Issa and like Susanna, they were helping her, but like she's the only one with the power to. And that was because that was why Thiago wanted Ten to be like her basically shadow, because he wanted her to learn how to do it. And then Carew was like, doesn't he know like this take freaking years, like years to learn how to do this? Like, you don't just learn this because Thiago wanted Ten to replace her.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously Ten is easily controlled by Thiago, but whatever. But so my next post-it note is page 141, where also what kind of like was getting me a little bit in this book was like she kept saying like how she didn't love Akiva anymore and how could she trust him after all of that? Like, I was so stupid. Like, why did I trust him? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, girl, like,
you know why? You love him.
give it a rest. Even with this is like much later, but Issa, she was just like, he was devastated. Like, put yourself in his position. What would you have done if the roles were reversed and it was Akiva who was like beheaded and you could do nothing and you had the last 17 years to just sit in your grief? What would you do?
Yeah.
Issa shipped them 100%, and I'm right there with her.
Well, I think she shipped him, and I think also Brimstone shipped him. Or at least
she wasn't like, he wasn't ever mad at her for finding like some semblance of happiness in love in this like war-torn time that they found themselves in. Like, he was never mad at her for loving an angel and never, like kicked her out like because of that and called her like, the racial slur and angel lover and all that stuff. Like he was never mad at her for that.
Yeah.
So I got really sick of that too.
Yeah, that one really
sick of that.
That one bothered me because she kept bringing it up. I'm like, how are you two supposed to be together if all you talk about is how much you can't be with him? Not okay.
100%. Not okay. Yeah, I mean, it's like YA angst. I'm right there with you, Lara, but I got sick of it.
You can only take it so many times before you're just like, stop beating a dead horse. You can beat it as much as you want, but it's not going to move because it's dead.
That's 100%. That's right.
I know that was really hurtful.
It was. Dang.
I love horses.
Talk about
prison ponies, as they get called on Wild Earth. There's my Wild Earth plug. I have to do it at least once a show now. It's kind of a thing now.
And like right when, like at the very beginning, when Thiago was telling Ten like he had to, you know, be with her and help her out, I was like, girl, open up your eyes. Like he is trying to get rid of you. Like, come on, like get with it. Play with, you know, all the cards in the deck. I mean, come on. Come on.
It's like, for as smart as she was, the fact that she didn't pick up on that sooner was frustrating, because it's like, you're so intelligent, and then you miss this one small thing. Like, and it's an obvious thing as well. Like, if it had been something where she was best friends with her, oh yeah, I hate this guy, like I could understand, you know, not catching it quite as soon. But she literally hated Karoo.
Yeah.
She should have known.
For sure. And I felt like between the Karoo in Daughter of Smoke and Bone and then the Karoo that's in this book, they could be completely two different people. Completely different people. I would have a hard time keeping the names straight. Yeah, for sure. Which is why they're called Hazelnut and IKEA. Otherworldly names. Yeah, it's the down part about reading like fantasy books. Like they got these strange names. But that's also why I like listening to fantasy books, like audiobook, because then you like get to like hear what they're actually supposed to, because then you just go around calling people Hazelnut and that's not even their name. Not even their name.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, I was saying, like, where is the Karoo that I fell in love with in the first book? Like, where is she? I don't see her. I mean, yeah, she could be so traumatized that she lost the love of her life, and then she's like in the situation where she's basically oppressed and basically a prisoner doing this stuff and causing herself pain to resurrect these people. But there was one point in the book where she was going to meet Thiago and like glean the souls that were in the pit. And she had on her crescent blade. She had her knife on. I'm like, yeah, girl, are you finally going to grow that backbone back that you had in Daughter of Smoke and Bone? Because I missed you, girl. Where you been, you know? Karoo in this book is suffering from the deepest betrayal. And all
but she doesn't need to be alone. She needs to remember that IKEA loves her.
Remember who you are.
I don't know why all of a sudden I wanted to be like, remember the 5th of November. Has nothing to do with this, but
no one to lean on or tell her she's an idiot for thinking that way. Okay, so I'll buy that. I'll buy that for the first fourth of the book. But what happens when Susanna and Mick show up? They're her friends. She's having a great time with them. And then she resurrects Issa. She has Issa now, and she's straight telling her, like, put yourself in his position. What then? Just saying.
Food for thought.
Food for thought. And I'm like, honestly, Karoo, I was like, Karoo, he's sorry. He's so sorry. Like, come on.
Give him a break.
I would forgive him.
I mean, after everything he's done, I mean, he brought, what is her name again? Not Susanna, the other girl. Issa. He brought Issa back. Like, granted, yes, he thought it was her and he was sad, but it's just like, he brought her back. Like, doesn't that deserve something? Maybe being like, all right, I'll give you a shot. Like, we're not going to pick up right where we left off, but let's take it step by step. But no, he's still just like, I don't like him. He's blah, blah, blah. No. Bro, brain.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't Honestly, it's just because I want them together, so I was probably, a
You
little bit
moved
too
your
critical.
camera.
I know, I'm moving it back, Jen. Jesus. I'm trying to hold the book and do stuff. So yeah, it's just my own personal opinion that, it's like I kind of want them together, so I want them to get over whatever grievances they have and just be together already. That's just me.
Yeah.
My next post-it note is when Zuri is captured and then tortured, and then he comes back and he has like the Joker smile carved into his face, and they made him like basically eat the ashes of his brethren.
Yeah.
It was just not good. That was also another very graphic scene where it's probably, a little over the top, but sure.
I mean, she has a great writing style, but some things need a little less detail. It's kind of like the Outlander books, to be honest with you, when she's doing her surgeries. It's like, okay, I don't need to know that you're ripping out a worm out someone's eye, and then you hear the little, like, no. It's too much information. I can do without that. Like, let's just skip over some of the unpleasant things. I know that they happen, but let's just be like, bad things happen. He made me eat some people.
Honestly, like, speaking of Outlander, we've read all the books, and yeah, ew, 100%. Ew.
It was not even the worst one out of all of them because she's a doctor, a nurse, or whatever.
Karoo had to heal his hands. What does that have to do with eating ashes? I don't understand.
I didn't need to hear it when I read it either.
I didn't need to read it with my eyes. Like I didn't.
Yeah, just some of them. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so we've read all of the Outlander books, and the one scene that I remember vividly, not even about Jamie and Claire and their wonderful life together. No, it's about a surgery where Claire has to take hemorrhoids off of somebody. That's what I remember.
I remember that one too.
It's like in such detail. I'm just like,
by reading that entire series, I feel like I could go into a surgery and do not too bad. That's how graphic we got, my friends.
You might as well put doctor like in front of my name, like freak. Oh my gosh.
I don't know why that's so funny, but it is.
Because that's like not accurate. No one should let Chen in a surgery suite. Do not go to Chen for surgeries.
Let's just be real. I don't do well with blood either. So
see, even Laura was thinking of the hemorrhoid scene.
It's just too much. There are just too many of them. I remember like the one time where there was a battle and she had to like saw someone's leg off, and she was talking about how she had to like go through the bone and the layers of it all, and I was like, can we not? Like, come on. This is supposed to be what I thought was a romance. Definitely not. I've learned things since then.
You've learned, you've grown. It's, but I mean, all right, back to the book we're supposed to talk about.
Hey, it wouldn't be a live stream with us if we didn't talk about books that weren't the book.
Would we even, it wouldn't, like, that's when if you come to a live stream and we just talk about the book we're supposed to be talking about, we're not us. We're aliens, and you should call and get us help.
Immediately.
Okay, it might be a good series, but I'm glad I never picked it up. Outlander? I mean, just watch the show. You're fine. Jen, stay away from the hospital.
You don't think I could do it?
I mean, I'm not going to line up, like, both.
But yeah, honestly, I will very rarely ever say this, but between the books and the TV show, I feel like the TV show does better for Outlander.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yes.
Which is, from a book lover perspective, is like blasphemy, but if you do decide to read them, you will 100% agree after you start watching the series. You'll go, this is so much better than the book.
You want to know why? It's because the show keeps the important stuff in and totally disregards things that aren't important.
Unfortunately, some of the rapey things are important, and we unfortunately have to live through those. Did you ever see that one with Brianna? Oh,
you mean in season 4?
Yeah. That one was Hard.
Unfortunately.
That one I could have done without. I got real excited for a minute because it looked like this episode was going to be over, and I was like, "Poof, we're just going to talk about it." No.
We
relived it.
It's on Stars. They're not just going to talk about it.
Episode.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, next.
Next Post-it note. Okay, this is when.
One.
Right. Well, this is when Ziri was even talking about how, Ziri remembers, what happened when Madrigal died, and Akiva was the one that it was actually, heartbroken and trying to fight for her. Not even her own people, but a quote-unquote enemy was, trying to save her. And he said this one thing. It says, Ziri had begun to hate someone on that day, and it wasn't Akiva. 100%. He even sees it, Akiva is the man. The hemorrhoid TV isn't in the... Okay, the hemorrhoid... it is in the TV show. It is. But obviously they don't show someone's butt on...
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, I think they actually had it recently. I don't remember what season it happens in, but I think I remember it. So it did come up.
Yeah, it was season 4. And young Ziri had a little boy crush on Madrigal. Yes, yeah. It's those gazelle legs. I'm telling you.
Okay, listening to it on 3-speed, I was doing crafts at the time, and all of a sudden, I remember really tuning into a moment, and she's like, "Yeah, I got up and my goat legs stretched them out," and I was like, "What? Who are we with?" And then they were like, "Madrigal." I was like, "Woo!" I did not realize where we were at. I'm very confused.
So confused.
Disoriented for a quick moment.
Who has goat legs? Oh yeah, Madrigal. Okay. So this my next Post-it note is when what's her face? Is it Laraz, the sister, Akiva's sister? How do you say her name? Liraz? I don't know. Okay, so it's Akiva. No, it's Liraz.
Laraz.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so
Lara just types it out. Laraz. We're gonna call her Lizard.
I literally just spelled it, and she was like, Laraz.
We'll call her Lizard. So we got Hazelnut. Liraz. I like Lizard better.
Phonetically, when you're typing things out, Lara, we cannot hear you. You can tell she's as we're talking, you can tell Laura's just sitting there. Liraz, you guys.
I could just see after we made the one comment, she's like, oh. These two. Thanks for putting up with us, Laura.
Thank you. Okay, so she actually was watching when Ziri got kidnapped, and she was actually thinking he was attractive, and she didn't want him to get captured. That's when I started chipping it. I'm like, yes, be happy.
Someone's got to be.
Someone, for the love of God, be happy. And then my next Post-it note, 296.
Sorry.
I would never roll my eyes. Oh, lies. What? Liar. Okay, so 296. We get the title. It's when she first saw Akiva again. First saw him in this whole book, page 296. That's too long. It's too long. They needed to work their stuff out by now. But it's she saw him, and it's she said, light coursed through Karoo and darkness chased it. It was burning through her, chilling her, shimmer and shadow, ice and fire, blood and starlight, rushing, roaring, filling her, shock and disbelief, and rage. I'm like, oh, yeah, I knew that was coming. She's still so mad at you. Get over it. You killed my dad.
Well, if you were that talented, Karoo, you should be able to bring him back without the whatever. I wanted to say Themyscira or whatever the Wonder Woman island is, but I was like, that's not right either.
Thurible. It's the Thurible.
The thimble.
Oh, okay. So this is when my next post-it note, 304, is when Akiva brought her the thurible, and she said she just had to open it and she would know who it was. So she opened it. The soul skimmed against her senses and she knew. And that was the end of the chapter. I'm like, well, do you want to fill in the rest of the class? Like, come on.
I remember that too. I was
here.
in the middle of cutting something and she said that and I was like,
Did
are
my
you going to answer your own question?
Did my audiobook stop? I mean, come on.
Well, at 3 speed, it kind of goes right into the next chapter.
296 pages of betrayal. Okay, first of all, no, he was not betraying her for 296 pages. The betrayal happened so long ago. He's trying to make up for the betrayal for 296 pages. That has to count for something. Sounds like someone who doesn't know how to drop a grudge. I'm sorry, Laura. Just at me next time you want to talk crap. Stupid cliffhangers at the end of every chapter. Like, seriously, it's every chapter.
Yeah.
I hate it, and I love it.
At least, okay, so another author, again, side tangent, Cassandra Clare loves to do this. And her chapters are like 40 to 50 pages. Sorry, I feel like a light just went on in the house, and I'm very confused and concerned because I'm the only one home.
You're alone.
So I'm gonna keep you on here.
No problem. We're not even done yet. We still got lots of stuff to do.
I don't hear anything. I'm gonna text my family and ask them if someone turned on the light.
Okay.
Give me one moment here.
Do it. Let me know if I need to call the police, because I will.
Oh, nope, it's my mom calling. So yeah, we're gonna go with it.
Woo! Thank God. Way to scare me. Thanks.
I was like, heart attack. I go,
okay.
There's a light on, and I am not near that room.
You're like, holy moly.
The soul has, don't say that, Laura. I'm home alone. I'll never sleep.
It's the soul has been. Watch out. It's Yako. Not even cool, man. Not nice.
I'm just going to text her real fast because I'm not going to lie to you. That really, I don't watch horror movies, but literally every horrifying scene in any movie I've ever seen just came to life. And I'm like, this is how I'm going to die. And you guys are going to be front row seats. Like, congratulations.
Oh God, that would suck. Okay.
So your post-it note. Sorry, I don't even know. Oh no, Cassandra Clare. There we go. And that's the thing is, I'll always tell myself I'm just gonna make it to the end of the chapter. I need to learn with Cassandra Clare books that if she has like a page break in the middle of the chapter, that's where I need to stop myself.
Take it. Yep, she does. She has very long chapters. You're right. My next post-it note is okay, this little like small POV after, or it's right before what's his face, JL finds the fruit basket and like kills some girl because he's mad. Okay, so this is Nevo's point of view, and he's actually like feeling sorry for the girl who has to go and quote unquote service this guy. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I really like you. I was like, maybe they're trying to get like new people to kind of, turn the tides and fight like in with Akiva or with Karu. And then no, he dies. So that was very short-lived.
My dad just texted me, is Mom's light on in the living room? And I'm like, yeah. I'm still in the live stream and I literally thought I was going to die. Thanks.
Thanks for the warning.
Oh.
Yeah, this is after where they're all like, they literally hung like every single guard for no reason. And I was like, well, that was short-lived. I really liked him for the small couple pages that we got him for.
Yep.
Yeah, and then this is when she brought Issa back, and I was like, I'm happy for her, I am, but I really thought it was going to be Brimstone. And okay, so page 337. 337, y'all.
Oh my gosh. You're like 500 pages. We're not even, sorry.
I know, we're going. If you stop doing so many tangents, I might get through this a little faster.
We still have to pick another book series, too, after this. Keep going.
we have lots of announcements to go through. So this is when she's like, 10 was meant to replace her. Thiago didn't want to help Karu. He wanted to not need her. I was like, thank you for catching up with the rest of the class. We all knew this back from 100 pages ago. So, but okay. This is when Issa was totally like on Akiva's side and telling her to stop being mad at him. Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now the lights go off.
What are they doing?
So they're up north and they're testing whether or not they could do it remotely. And I was like, it works.
But later when you hear that message Brimstone sends through Issa, yes. Yeah. They totally made like one of their like places into like just a big thurible, like holding a whole bunch of souls. Yeah. So she has her work cut out for her in book 3, I'm telling you.
How long is book 3? I don't have the physical book, so I can't compare it to the others.
I have the physical book. It's just not near me right now.
Got it.
And then Akiva found out that he has some other kind of powers that basically, like he's like was moving like super fast, and he felt like he was, or I don't know, some kind of like Matrix stuff going on. I'm like, dang, all right. Where's my next one? This is when.
Go ahead.
This is when Karu killed Thiago, and I was like, thank God, because he needed to die like last book. Then this is when Hazelnut died, and I really wanted a freezer near me, and I didn't have one near me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
This is when Mick was spelling out, Susanna, will you make me a sandwich on her back? Oh, I was dying laughing. It's the longest book of the 3. No. So you're saying the third one is the longest book?
Well, let's see here, because I got notification today that
I'm so excited for Akiva to be reunited with his clan. So that's what I'm hoping happens in book 3. What I'm hoping happens in book 3 is that Akiva and Karu get their act together and.
Oh my God! Yeah, it is. It's 3 hours longer than this one.
Oh.
It's 18 hours versus 15 hours.
15 hours. Oh yeah, my next post-it note is when like the white wolf just like comes through her door, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but what? Like, what is happening here? Like, no, you're supposed to be dead.
I was doing my paint by numbers at that point, and they were like, and he walked through the door, and I was like, what? Like, did I miss something? Like, I'm pretty sure that she stabbed him after he tried to rape her.
Pretty sure that it said, like, he died and, like, his dead weight was on her, so she had to, like, struggle to get out of her. I was like, did I imagine all of that? Like,
I was like, it was vividly in my mind that her pants were around her ankle, so she couldn't get up fast enough, and she had trouble buttoning up her pants. I was like, did I imagine all this stuff? Because it sticks really, really hard up here.
It's in there for days. And then she's like, because of course, he wasn't really the white wolf. And I'm like, and that's when like the chapter breaks. I'm like, you want to share with the class? Who is it? Like, come on. Drive me nuts. And then we find out it was Ziri, and it was his idea to put his soul into Thiago's body. And he took one for the team, I tell you, because they can't even look at each other. They can't even look at each other because of just how traumatized like she is. Yeah. And then he's in someone that's, like a murderer, and oh God, it was just, I was like, all right, well, hopefully it doesn't last too long. You can get your own body back, but dang.
Well, I guess it makes sense, like, because so many people followed him, like, they needed him to still survive. Like, I get that, but at the same time, like, that's, ooh.
Rough. That's rough. Okay, so we're going to move this right along. That's all the post-it notes in my book.
I have no discussion questions. If I had read the book beforehand, probably, but I seem to have a habit of finishing it about an hour before we go live.
Yeah, I finished it. I think I finished it like at 4:30. 4:30. Yeah, I finished. That's when I finished it. But so yeah, so a couple of announcements for us to make. So next week we're doing Dreams of Gods and Monsters next week Thursday. So that is the 21st, 6 p.m. We're discussing the third and final book. Then the next week after that, did we decide if we're going to do that on Wednesday or Thursday?
Wednesday.
Okay.
I think we had talked about Thursday, but other reasons it's Wednesday now.
Okay, so Wednesday the 27th, May 27th, we are going to be doing a live stream discussion of A Call for Kelp by Bree Baker, which is book number 4 in the Seaside Cafe Mystery Series. But so I just wanted to, I'll make a graphic and post it on social media so you don't have to worry about remembering, because I will be reminding you, no worries about that. Then
that book comes out on the 26th, so if you're planning to read it, give yourself the day.
Read it. I know, and this also, it's the 4th book in the series, so if you don't get to it, no worries. I just want to put it out there because I was actually sent an ARC copy and I wanted to get my review out there before, not too long after it's released, because that's basically what they send you the ARC for. So I don't want to fail anybody, because I love Bree Baker. She's my favorite cozy mystery author. If you haven't read her, you totally should. But so yeah, we're going to be doing that. That's going to be the last Wednesday of the month, and that is the 27th at 6 p.m. Arizona time. And then also, when I was posting this video on Facebook, we have a Facebook group for this. So if you do want to join that, there is the link in the description box. So go ahead and click on that. I just asked for suggestions because tonight we are picking the next series that we're going to be reading in June. And Erin, I don't think she's watching tonight because she would have commented by now, I'm sure. So, but Erin, she suggested that we read Twilight because Midnight Sun is coming out in August. So we decided, Jen, I ran the idea by her and she was all for it. So in July, we're going to be rereading the Twilight series and doing live streams. So those are going to be Wednesdays too. So every Wednesday in July, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th, we'll be doing all of the books. So in order, obviously, because Midnight Sun comes out August 4th. So we're preparing for that book to come out. But so since we're doing that in July,
we got to do what June. That was not English, though.
It wasn't, but it's fine. We do still have to pick the book series that we're reading in June. So I have our little cup here with our book suggestions. And what happened last time, we picked a series and we're like, oh, let's not pick that series. And then we picked this series. So that might happen. It's honestly
it's how we're feeling. Because those are series that we want to read. But in the moment, we might decide, I'm not prepared for that. And I'd like to pick again. And then between those two, we'll see which one I like more. Or if we have to go for a third, lucky post it.
So I got all the suggestions in a little cup here. And so we're going to pick what
which one I'm hoping it's going to be.
We're going to pick what our June book series is going to be. Okay, for the live stream, who picked this buddy read?
It will be juicy.
It's Mara Dyer. So the series Mara Dyer by, what's her name? Michelle Hodkin?
Pick again.
Okay, we're going to pick again. We're going to pick again.
We put romance books in there, and we read a lot of YA lately, so I'm like...
Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to pick, actually, until I get a romance. How about that?
I mean, I can tell you which one I'm hoping it will be.
Yep. We're still
what was the next one? I want to know what the other one was.
It was Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young.
Oh, okay.
That's another YA. I'm just gravitating towards the YA, apparently. We did put
a lot of YA in there.
We did. The selection. I just can't win here.
I was like, the selection sounds like a good one, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't think that one. What was that one?
The Great Library.
I think that's all of the young adult ones that we have in there, to be honest with you.
Thank God, because...
no, we have the Snow Lake Ashes. Is that the next one?
That was Bone Witch by Rinch Becco, even though I would totally agree. But, yeah. Okay, romance. Come on, romance.
Oh, wait, hold on. I've got questions.
I should reread the Twilight series too. Did either of you read Midnight Sun clips she had for years? I did not. I did not read it.
I actually started a Facebook page that I've since deleted that was like, I will not read Midnight Sun until she publishes it. And then honestly, I forgot about it. So.
I didn't read it either, no. Just wondering as I did, I read quite a bit of that in Twilight at the same time and found it quite cool. Oh, that's awesome. But it's going to be brand new information for us. So
I wanted to read it really bad, but at the same time, I was like, maybe if I don't read it, she'll actually publish it.
I know, right? Here's hoping. I mean,
did you pick another young adult one?
I didn't. I was reading the question, Jen.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Duchess. Oh, Duchess.
I can just hear you yelling at her. Uh-oh. Now we're all in wait to find out what it is. Well, while she has her earbuds out, the one that I'm really hoping that she picks is going to be Gina Showalter's The Lords of the Underworld series. So fingers crossed on that. You're still on mute.
All right, I'm back. Okay, so yeah, I told Duchess.
Did you tell her she's gonna have to go outside?
Yeah, I told her. I was like, "You're gonna go outside because you don't bark." Okay, so okay, the Midnight Breed series by Laura Adrienne. Tell me, pick again.
I'll tell you what I told everyone else. I really want you to pick Gina Showalter's The Lords of the Underworld.
Okay, hold on. Nope.
It's gonna be the last one you open up too.
Nope. Nope.
It will be the last one.
Nope.
Jesus, how many of these did we have? I don't remember all of them.
Nope.
How many more do you have?
2. Oh my! It's seriously the last one. The last one.
Well, okay, so Laura, we wouldn't be reading it. We wouldn't read the entire series. We would just read like the first few, and then we could either continue after Twilight or whatever. But I guess my question for you would be the Lords of the Underworld. Are there vampires in that or no? No, okay. I just wanted to make sure that we're not doing vampires one month and then vampires the next, because I feel like I would just get tired of it.
No, it's not a series that we can read in 1 month. And yeah, like Jen was saying, we're probably just going to do 3 or 4 books maybe.
Because they're on Audible Escapes, so we can get them for free. Well, I mean, you have to pay for Escapes, but we can read them all. And I don't have to worry about...
I seriously thought, yeah, demons, later on angels. Yeah, for sure. It's basically, the premise of the book is the Lords of the Underworld were all created by, to protect Pandora's box, and then they get real sick of it and decide to open it. And so they get real sick of doing that. And so they, as punishment, they get stuck with each one of the demons or sins that are in Pandora's box. So that is the premise of Lords of the Underworld. First book is called The Darkest Night. So that's what we're going to be starting with. That is the series that we're going to be reading in June. And I'll be making the graphics and everything for that. So
I'll create events later.
Don't you worry. I will get on that.
When you get those to me, I'll use those for the cover photo. Or no, never mind. I 100% lied.
Yeah. The first couple, because her newest book, I have it somewhere around here. I have it. Her new book in that series came out. I think it's book number 16 or 17. Yeah. But yeah, it's been like forever since I read the first few in that series. So I would definitely love to read it again. A lot of books. Yeah, 16. I think I'm going to look it up actually, because I'm not entirely positive how many books in that series there are.
I know I have the first 3 from Audible Escapes on my phone now. So it's like, that's a series that I've been wanting to read for a while. And I'm like, if we can get it started, then that'd be awesome. I mean, I know that we're not going to finish it in 1 month. This is definitely not one. Even if we had done the Midnight Breeds one. Have you read that one, though?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
The Lords of the Underworld, the newest one, the Darkest King, is book number 15 in that series. So
it's a lot.
It is. And same with Midnight Breed. There's 13, 14 books in that series. So
it was going to be a long one, no matter what we chose romance-wise.
Yes. But yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I love that series too. It's still only the 2 books, and oh my god, I wish you would continue that series too.
I have those books, I just haven't read them yet.
Yeah, the
Seems
first
to be
book,
a theme with a lot of my book. I have both of them.
The first book, like the main character, she gets her like superpowers from like a spiked latte, and it was awesome.
Why couldn't you have given me powers?
I literally thought like something was falling and you were trying to catch it. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But yeah, so that is it has the best character. Seriously. The male protagonist in that book series, swoon worthy. Swoon worthy.
I think the only things that I've read by her are the Alice in Zombieland. Oh my god, why didn't we put those books in there? Okay, sorry.
That's such a great series too. I love it.
I would love to reread that. It's been a while.
We have. Okay, we're gonna have to go through this and see which books that you really don't want to read, and then
it's that we've been reading so much YA, and that's fine. I love YA, it is, but it's like
we need a break.
We've been reading YA in our In Real Life book club. We've been reading YA here for the last couple months. I knew that July was going to be YA with Twilight. I was like, we need to have an adult novel, okay, friends? Sure. We're adults. This channel is not safe for children. Is that true, or is it just the videos?
I haven't marked my entire channel like not suitable for children, but I do it by video. Yeah.
Well, those videos not safe for people.
Next summer, like 2021.
Laura's planning way in advance.
Way in advance. She's like, let's get this whole year. Let's get this whole year set. We're adults. Rumor has it a bad word was said earlier.
Hey, it's still PG-13. We only said it once.
Said one time. Yeah, just as per video too. Yeah, I just felt like, because I do talk about, YA, I talk about middle grade, I talk about, it's like I don't just talk about romance. I talk about, so I just find it easier just to do it by video. Yeah.
Well, I know that you have your Cozy Mystery Club, but we can also throw a Cozy Mystery in there. We can attempt to do. I know, but we can attempt to do a different series.
Oh yeah.
We started the Teen Mysteries. I know that that's supposed to be the 20th, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you. There is no way in hell I'm going to be able to read both of those two, A Call for Kelp, and then Beta read your book. So let's
not happening.
I'm probably going to end up deleting those events. So that's something that nobody else needs to know. But
we keep pushing it out, but then it's like
we'll get back to it eventually. I have very much enjoyed Brie Baker despite the campiness of the Cozy Mystery. But that, I guess, is just a staple to the series. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy to read that. We could do some biographies or something. We could get weird with some of our picks, okay? If we say we do a trilogy and we need like an extra week in there, we could throw a standalone in there. We could do a Sandra Brown.
You said a biography.
I know. That's a memoir. Anything.
We'll talk about that later.
Hey, I'm thinking about our bookish awards. There we go. At the end of the year, one of those is nonfiction or whatever, like a memoir, a history book, and you found a loophole
or historical. So I took advantage of that loophole. I'm sorry you didn't think of it. I'm sorry.
Hey,
that's not my
historical
problem.
Doesn't mean historical romance. It means historical, like let's read about Pearl Harbor or something.
No, it does not specify that. It says historical. Sorry you didn't think about it, but
loophole.
100%. I took advantage of that. Okay, so don't worry, everybody. I will get graphics out. I will get dates out. I will get times out for you. Don't worry. I know we kind of sped through our little announcements that we had towards the end, but it's been an hour and a half since we've been here with you. It's time to wrap it up. And we'll see you. You need to eat dinner. I need to eat dinner. My husband's probably wondering where I am.
He can feed himself. Warm something up, son.
No, he would die. He would die. If he had to feed himself, he would die. So anyway, it was awesome hanging out with everybody. We ragged on this book a lot, but I did enjoy it. Solid 3.5 stars. I really can't wait to see what the final book has in store for us. It's probably going to rip my heart out. Hopefully I will be happy towards the end, because I need some happiness. This book was a lot of sad, honestly. 517 pages in Dreams of Blood and Starlight, and so a whole 100 extra pages of sadness. The cat who ate his tail.
I would read it.
Write it down, Jen. Write it down.
You're the one with the mug of books.
Pen? I have a pen. Okay. The cat who ate his tail. Okay, got it. Got who ate his tail. All right, everybody. You have a wonderful night. We'll see you back here next Thursday, 6 p.m. Arizona time, for Dreams of Monsters and Gods and Monsters. And yeah, that one.
That one.
That one. Oh, that would be awesome. Yes. I'll DM you, Jess. I'll DM you on Twitter. All right, everybody. You have a wonderful night.
Good night.